For decades, the Pentagon has prepared for one kind of war. A war fought with stealth bombers, aircraft carriers, and missile defense systems. A war where America's technological superiority guarantees victory. But what if that war never happens? What if the weapons the US has spent trillions perfecting are already obsolete? Right now, China has developed something that could change everything. A system designed to instantly neutralize America's greatest advantage. It's called the Hurricane 3000, a next-generation weapon that can microwave drones out of the sky, disable smart missiles, and shut down entire battlefields before the fight even begins. And right after it was unveiled, something strange started happening in the United States.
Mystery in the sky now. Drones sighted all over the Northeast. The FBI is asking the public for help.
This is sparking significant concern among residents and local and state leaders.
These could be foreign agents. These could be foreign countries. We have many enemies now.
Mysterious drone swarms suddenly started appearing all over the country. At first, no one knew where they came from. But then President Trump announced they were FAA approved and that they were not the enemy. But if they're not the enemy, then who are they? Is it just a coincidence that right after China unveils a weapon designed to eliminate drone swarms, mysterious drone swarms suddenly appear over the United States? Or is the Pentagon already testing how to counter China's next-generation battlefield before it's too late? Let's look at the evidence we have and find out. For over half a century, the United States has dominated the skies. American war strategy has always been about hitting first, hitting hard, and flying away. From high-altitude surveillance drones, mapping enemy positions, to autonomous attack drones, eliminating high-value targets, we've become increasingly reliant on unmanned aerial vehicles. And that strategy works, as long as those drones can fly. But now, China has built something designed to make sure they don't. The Hurricane 3000 isn't a missile. It's not a gun. It doesn't rely on conventional weapons at all. Instead, it microwaves the battlefield. Using high-powered electromagnetic pulses, EMP, it can shut down the electronic systems inside UAVs, disabling them mid-flight and turning entire drone swarms into dead weight. No explosions, no gunfire, no warning, just instant failure. And that presents a huge problem for the Pentagon. Its entire playbook relies heavily on drone warfare. Reaper drones have become the backbone of U.S. air operations, striking terrorist leaders, providing real-time intelligence, and operating for hours without risking human pilots. Naval drones are being tested to patrol contested waters, tracking enemy submarines and gathering intel in the South China Sea. Loitering munitions, drones that can hover over a battlefield for hours before striking, are being developed to replace traditional airstrikes. And that's only a small sampling. For a long time, this has been the future of warfare. But China's Hurricane 3000 is designed to wipe it out. This isn't speculation. China has already conducted live fire tests of the Hurricane 3000, demonstrating its ability to disable drones before they can even reach their target. If deployed on a large scale, this system could make U.S. drone operations in the Pacific completely ineffective. And that might explain something strange, because just weeks after China unveiled this new system, the United States suddenly began launching drone swarms all over the country. Large formations of drones appearing over military bases, along the coasts, even near nuclear sites. Civilians spotted them. Pilots reported them. The internet exploded with theories. Was it China? Was it Russia? Was it some kind of unknown technology being tested in secret? Then President Trump made an announcement. These drone swarms were FAA approved, meaning they weren't foreign. They weren't an enemy threat. So what were they, and why now? The timing is almost too perfect to ignore. Just weeks after China unveils the Hurricane 3000, a weapon specifically designed to take out drone swarms, the U.S. suddenly starts testing large-scale drone formations over its own airspace. It raises a question. Is the Pentagon already scrambling to find a way around China's new battlefield weapon? Consider this. Drone swarms are one of the Pentagon's biggest experimental projects right now. The U.S. has been developing swarming tactics for years, investing in autonomous drones that can overwhelm enemy defenses by sheer numbers alone. But all of that is useless if China's new weapon can wipe out entire swarms in an instant. So what's the military's next step? They have to find a way around it. And the best way to do that? Simulate the threat. If the Pentagon knows China has a system that can disable drone swarms, the smartest move is to test those swarms against similar conditions. How do drones behave when hit with an EMP? How many can be disabled at once? Are there ways to shield UAVs from the effect? Could AI help drones adapt and reroute around the disruption? All of these are critical questions the US military needs answers to before it finds itself in a war where drones drop out of the sky like flies. And that's why these drone tests might not be just tests. They might be battle simulations, a direct response to China's Hurricane 3000. Because if the US doesn't find a way to counter this weapon now, the future of American air dominance could be over before the next war even begins. If our theory is correct, it proves something chilling. The Pentagon is scrambling in a way we've never seen before. Because here's the thing, the US military does not test its most critical battlefield strategies in public view, ever. For decades, the most advanced American military technologies have been developed and tested in total secrecy. Stealth bombers, hypersonic weapons, next-generation fighter jets, these aren't things you just let civilians see. When the F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first stealth fighter, was being tested, the military built an entire classified facility at Area 51 just to keep it hidden. When the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber was developed, it was kept under wraps for nearly a decade before the public even knew it existed. When the Navy tested its new railgun, a weapon that could fire projectiles at Mach 7, it did so at a remote classified range in total secrecy. Yet suddenly, we're supposed to believe that one of the most advanced military experiments in modern history, large-scale drone warfare, just happens to be playing out in full view of the American public. That doesn't happen. Not unless something is very, very wrong. If the US really is running these drone swarm operations to prepare for China's Hurricane 3000, it means the Pentagon has no time to keep it secret. It means that they need real-world data, fast, and they're willing to risk public exposure to get it. That level of desperation tells us something else too. China's new weapon isn't just a small threat. It might spell doom for the United States. Think about it. The US military has spent decades building drone-based warfare into its combat strategy. If the Hurricane 3000 actually works as advertised, it would wipe out years of American battlefield planning overnight. The Pentagon would have no counter and no backup strategy. And that's why this might be the most rushed, most reactive testing we've ever seen. The United States has relied on one key advantage. We always stay ahead. From nuclear weapons to stealth bombers to precision-guided missiles, the US has set the standard for military power. But what if that changes? What if, for the first time in modern history, America falls behind? We're already seeing the warning signs. China is outpacing the US in missile technology. Its hypersonic missiles can strike targets before American defenses can react. China is expanding its navy faster than any country on Earth, building warships at a rate the US can't match. China has already tested weapons designed to blind or destroy American satellites, threatening the systems that guide US missiles and aircraft. Now, with the Hurricane 3000, China is targeting the main reason America still has the advantage. And if the US doesn't counter it in time, they may never be able to catch up. This is a fight for technological survival, and that's a war the US military cannot afford to lose. The Pentagon isn't even trying to act in secret. If these mysterious drone swarms over the US really are military tests, then we're watching something unprecedented. The US military scrambling, in full public view, to figure out how to fight a war it was never prepared for. But the question is the Pentagon already too late? If you want to stay ahead of what the Pentagon won't tell you, stick with us. We're tracking the truth behind China's growing military power, America's next war, and the future of global conflict. So don't just watch, enlist. Hit that subscribe button and get the intel before it's too late. We'll see you next time.